a very healthy crowd have stuck around to see what should be a highly entertaining match. It's a big opportunity Zhao has here, Neil, to show us what he can do, but he's bound to be feeling a bit nervous playing a legend like Ronnie O'Sullivan out there.
Yes, in a way you'd hope there were nerves, because that's really important.
You know from the last game, Ronnie, all
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
All the best, have a good game. Wait until the cameraman tells us, okay?
Just seeing Leo Scullion out there.
Thank you, ladies and
giving
gentlemen.
some instruction.
The first frame, Zhao Xintong to break.
We have to wait to be cued on, or the players do, but we're all set and ready to go. Left-hander with a real gift, not the finished article. Interesting listening to Jimmy White saying, boy, can he pot. Well, there are signs that he is an extreme talent, but this is the biggest test of his career and his young life so far. There's lots of waiting around for O'Sullivan. A lot has been made of that, but of course Zhao Xintong has also had to wait. He was expecting to play at the same time, so it is the same for both. It's not ideal, but hey, it's snooker matches are not like football matches where finishing 90 minutes. There's a bit of Fergie time, but sometimes in snooker that's about for another 5 hours, not 5 minutes.
Well, back in the quote good old days unquote at the Crucible, we had all kinds of, not so much late night drama, but middle of the next morning drama, didn't we? The likes of Thorburn and Griffiths. And
well, yeah, that match finished at 3:51 in the morning. That was actually the match that's best remembered for the 147 that Cliff made. Didn't start till late though, and they didn't go on at 7:30 or whatever it was. They were delayed initially. So these things happen.
And it's the youngster who gets the first point of the match on the board. A little bit unlucky to finish right in front of the red.
Well, it's a fabulous shot actually to hit the side cushion and bottom cushion. He's unlucky, as you say, on the black, but he's got a shot at the pink. Well, already, if you've not seen him play before, and there is a chance, perhaps, even if you're a snooker enthusiast, that you haven't, you can see what he is. He's a left-hander with natural ability, who's raw, but a clean putter of ball, who, I mean, a lot of the young Chinese players coming through, they're kind of slightly more mechanical, not all of them, but this is one with true natural skill.
He's already beaten Ken Doherty, former world champion, of course, as a 15-year-old. Beat Steve Davis as well.
14.
To take out Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan, though, would be an entirely different kind of achievement altogether in front of a big crowd. O'Sullivan, as we know, has been cueing superbly well, just missed out on the European Masters title to Trump.
21.
And breezed through his first round in under an hour against Jimmy Robertson.
22.
But Zhao didn't waste any time either in round one, beating Wang Yuchen, also 4-0, so would have gained confidence from the comprehensive nature of that victory.
And just finally, with the fact that he's twice been World Amateur Championship runner-up, Pankaj Advani, the wonderful Indian billiards player, come snooker player, beat him, didn't take up his place on the tour, hence
28.
Zhao's inclusion for the year, because he didn't make it actually at the time through Q School, kept falling at the final hurdle there, but he's an addition to the tour in every sense of the word.
$35. Thank you.
Well, that wasn't easy either, and the angle he has suggests he can go into the bunch with quite a lot of ease here. Whether he gets on one's another matter, but if he did, he could be on the brink of winning the opening frame. Big shot, this. Wow. I love the way he played the shot. He really ploughed into the bunch.
What a confident opening. Zhao looking like a veteran in this frame so far. Real sense of purpose around the table.
44.
He looks cucumber cool.
Just a little bit loose, that shot. I think Ronnie, deep down, of course we know he wants to win, he wants to win all the matches, but deep down he will admire watching a player of this kind of ability and know what he's like. He feels the same about Judd Trump, despite having lost to him, of course, at the weekend in Budapest.
It was interesting listening to Trump the other day after his first round win talk about playing O'Sullivan, and of course he's seen a lot of him recently as they've been playing a series of exhibitions, and he says, well, firstly that he feels that O'Sullivan's playing as well as he's ever done, but also how much he's been able to learn just by watching O'Sullivan at close quarters, and how it's a slightly strange dynamic facing the Rocket, because
52.
it's almost as though he was wanting to impress O'Sullivan with the quality of his play. That's the impact that this guy has had on the game.
53.
But there's always room for a new superstar, Neil, and it's great to see young blood like this with so much talent.
Yes, and that's worked out well. Also, a red and high-value colour, and the frame is his. Well, I think he tried to pinch the pocket there to enable him to stay lowish on the black, but he doesn't want to be doing that too often. That only just wriggled in. This is a wonderful start. And I don't know quite that we're finished seeing this break yet. There's more to come, I feel.
Well, that was frame ball, barring snookers.
69.
But now you're beginning to see what the hype is all about. What an opening.
And the other point is, of course, playing on this kind of stage against such a great player, some players will turn to jelly. This clearly is not the case with Zhao.
76. 77. '84.
Oh, what a moment it would be for Zhao to make a century in the very first frame of his very first professional meeting with Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's a distinct possibility now.
Well, especially with that shot, that was a good
92.
one. Got right in behind the red. Ronnie can console himself.
93.
He hasn't done an awful lot wrong. He missed a red to the middle pocket. Zhao's opener was a pretty good one. He's not looked back since.
One good shot with the rest, and the century
98.
should be his for the taking. He didn't hold back, did he? What a break this has been. Wonderful. Well, they've waited some time to see Ronnie O'Sullivan
103.
step out into the arena, but it's his opponent
105.
that's dazzling them in the early running.
Point is, Philip, this is what people have been expecting for a long time. Every time anyone asks you about snooker, they say, well, there's lots of young Chinese players coming through. Yep, that's been the case for a while, but this could be the real start of an influx of players of this ability. There are,
112.
I would think, 4 players of a similar age who are just about to head into the higher ranks. And You're seeing what kind of precocious
117.
talent this one has got. Zhao Xintong, a name that you're going to see and hear a lot more of.
A wonderful break.
123.
Magnificent from the teenager. Stunning stuff. A clearance of 130 against Ronnie O'Sullivan in the very first frame. Wow. This is some talent. 1-0 lead.
Okay, Ronnie.
What a start to our final
second frame.
feature match
Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
on this third day of the English Open. 19-year-old Zhao Xintong of China has cleared the table after Ronnie O'Sullivan missed a red to left centre. Quite wonderful break of 130 to underline his enormous potential. And the Rockets got a match on here. A number of big hitters have gone out today. Mark Selby right at the start of the day, seems a long time ago now. Stephen Maguire beaten by Ryan Day. Sean Murphy going out in recent times to Liang Wenbo. Another match that went the distance.
Played it well enough, actually. I think the reason that it seems a long time ago that Mark Selby lost is because it was a long time ago. Might be the answer, mightn't it?
Yep, it was a 3-hour epic. Got underway just after 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, we know that Ronnie's got to back up a fine safety game, and never in his career has it been more important to show his vast experience. Usually players are chasing the game against him, but for the moment he's kind of just chasing this match. There's only one down in a short frame format, best of 7. And he's got to get that cue ball safe. Well, that's a weak safety shot. It was such because he hit the red a little bit on the thick side. And that's the one aspect of his game which is clearly not going to be as good as some of the other players on the tour. You can't buy experience and tactical knowledge and nous. It comes with time.
Thank you.
A little fortunate that he covered the available red with the blue, so no damage done.
Well, there's another example, Philip, of exactly that. He hit that one on the thin side and he's got away with it again, but that is not going to keep happening. Already, I think Ronnie is just sizing up that if he keeps his opponent at long range, he will eventually get chances. In amongst the balls, he looks, at the moment, as dangerous as Ronnie himself.
Thank you.
That's the way to do it. Find that baulk cushion.
This really is trouble. I sense there is a path. Bottom cushion, right side cushion, up the table. But he's opting to play as if in a snooker and just nestle on the reds at the bottom. That's not the worst shot. The kind of shot that could see him in more trouble if Ronnie hasn't got a pot to go for. I can just get through to that one. That's a good shot to roll it in. It wasn't an easy shot to play at very little pace, actually.
Six. Seven.
I was sure to be disappointed with that shot because he certainly didn't want to go into that red. Slowed up the cue ball, no end. No, overcut it. The shot before was the problem.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 14.
Went full-blooded for the pot. Oh, he's been lucky.
One.
That's a pretty outrageous fluke, actually.
So O'Sullivan with a fluke. How handy is that going to prove to be for him?
Eight.
Well, it was a really poor safety shot from Ronnie, and you've got to ride your luck and take it when it comes. I don't think Ronnie is the best at that. He almost, as if there's an element of slight guilt when he plays such a bad shot by his standards and he gets the benefits from that. You ever feel that he's going to really take somebody to the cleaners when that happens? But he's got to do that here. He's got to use the good luck to his fortune, to his advantage, because he could really do with this frame. He looked a little bit ragged so far by his, once again, high standards.
14.
There have been periods
15.
during O'Sullivan's career where that perfectionism of his has served to be some kind of torture for him mentally. His inability to accept at times that he can't play as he would like every time he steps
20.
out on the table. I think he's a lot more forgiving of himself these days when things don't go entirely to plan.
21.
There's quite a few on here. And that was a kick that was very tinny.
It's very rare that O'Sullivan gets the cue ball cleaned, even when he does get a kick.
27.
Just gets on with it. I think the jury's out still as to whether cleaning the cue ball has any effect.
28.
That's not gone to plan either. So a slightly scratchy start from the Rocket.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 28.
42-point lead nonetheless.
Well, that was a double kiss that took the cue ball up the table there. And has left something for O'Sullivan with the rest.
Thank you.
Well, what about that for a shot? If you get a chance, we'll try and get you a look at it again. It could well be enough for O'Sullivan to win this frame.
6. Seven.
No. I mean, it wasn't a dead set plant. It was nearly there. Had to slightly make it.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
Hard to fathom. So a chance for Zhao to get back into this frame. 49 points adrift, but still
1.
plenty there. Don't see many of those a season from O'Sullivan.
Tell you what I would say here. I wish Zhao would use a different type of chalk, because the table's a mess on that left side, on that right side there. Again, we might be able to get a look at it, but there's so many
9.
chalk marks, it's unbelievable. And we'll get more kicks. Just to the right of the black spot there, all these screw shots he plays, there's a huge chalk mark on the table. And if we're going to get kicks, that mightn't help. Look at all those. We've only played a couple of frames,
16.
not even that. And I don't know what he uses for chalk, but it's making a mess of the conditions out there.
17.
Well, what a frame this would be to win for Zhao. The first was achieved by a quite brilliant clearance of 130. O'Sullivan's had a couple of chances to put this away. He's had some good fortune as well, but only mustered 49 points from all of that.
23.
Yellow and green, the obvious problems in terms of
24.
possible clearance. But right back in the frame now.
Well, the chalk marks are not distracting Zhao. That was a good shot, not received with any applause, but
31.
of course the clearance is nothing's impossible, but it's nigh on where yellow and green are. To get from one to the other, I don't see it happening unless something gets shifted before then.
32.
And that was a good kiss, actually. It gives him a chance to get from brown to final red.
$36.
Time to lay a good snooker. Red on, or close to a colour would help matters here. The snooker's its certainty.
O'Sullivan's initial 49-point lead reduced to just 13 with 35 left.
Room to go around the back of this. It could have been a slightly better effort. As I say, red next to the yellow would have been interesting for possibilities of a free ball. Ronnie could conceivably go around the back of this. Oh, it was there. It was on.
Foul and miss.
And as he left a free ball.
Zhao Xintong, 4.
That's an important question. I don't think so, but the red is available. Well, I'll stick to my guns and say that to clear up with the yellow and green where they are is one in about 1,000, I would think. So it's probably going to take more than one visit to the table to make that happen.